Welcome to another episode of the A-List Movie Club. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Truth. And with me, as always, are Dominic and John. How's it going tonight, guys?
Good.
And of course, this is the show where each week a different one of us picks a movie for the others to check out. And this time it was Dominic's turn. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you picked?
I'd rather not.
Yeah, please describe this movie for us.
Yeah, I can't wait for the synopsis.
There's really no way to sum this movie up very shortly. What year was it? What was it? 71?
71.
Yeah.
71. Kubrick film, Clockwork Orange, starring Malcolm McDowell. Yeah, it was, I believe it was rated X when it first came out. I know it was banned in a lot of countries. It's that has to be experienced. It's something you can't really just say what it's about. And see, Wesley, I can do my reviews in 11 seconds. My movie, a masterpiece. Your album, Blue Goat Balls.
Jesus, I almost knocked down my display over here.
So I'll start off. It's a wild movie. It's at times it's a tough watch, brutal. I don't know what to classify it as a thriller, as a drama, as a comedy, as a
You classifies it as a comedy.
Malcolm McDowell plays an incredible character, a great acting by him. It takes place, it's like a look into the future. I don't know what they would have considered, how far in the future this would have been, but he is the leader of a street gang of tough four guys that wear bowler hats and white uniforms, and are into a little of the old in and out and ultra violence. Yeah, it's a crazy movie. I saw it when I was much younger, probably about 16 or 17 when I first saw this movie, and then haven't seen it since. I do remember Mad Magazine did a good satire on this movie. But yeah, it's I don't even know how to explain it. It has to be experienced. Graphic nudity, violence, it's like almost like psychological type of torture in it. And it's about a subject drops down to them trying to reprogram this sociopath's mind to be repulsed by the sense of violence or sex. It's an interesting movie.
For sure.
Interesting is one of the words you could use. Yeah. I definitely had to make sure my son wasn't in the room when I watched it.
Yeah.
It's not a family film.
No.
Not for the old church picnic.
You never look at the old Bond very you look at it differently after this movie.
Like you, Dom, I had seen this a long time ago. I was probably same age, 16, 17. And I thought it was like the strangest thing I'd ever seen. Of course, I was like, oh, look, boobies. So I was cool when I was that age. But now that I'm older, it's still a strange ass movie.
It is.
It's odd. I'm not sure how are we supposed to root for the main character because he's not really a likable guy.
No, he's not. He's evil. He's a sociopath.
I mean, just for fun because he's bored. It is like rape women and kill people. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's sort of
Very interesting. The wording they use in it. It's I don't know. I don't think that was. I think that was all made. I don't think it was real slang back then, British slang. I think they made up a lot of these words.
yeah.
You know.
It's covered in my trivia, but yeah,
Okay.
it's completely made up by the author of the book. It's just a complete made up language.
Okay.
Wow.
Like Klingon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was watching going like, what the hell? I had to put the words on the screen. Like, what is he even saying?
Right.
Yeah, the subtitles
And that
were
didn't help.
on or on HBO Max for some reason. So I just left them on. I'm like, let's just keep them on for this movie.
Yeah. Then when they were on, I kept watching that instead of the movie because I'm like, what is that word? What? I gotta look that up. Like, what is he even saying?
So, John, didn't the prison guard, the tough ass prison guard that did all the Nazi stomping and everything like that, the Nazi marching, couldn't you see him being played by John Cleese? It looked like something out of Monty Python. It really did.
Yeah. I couldn't tell if it was meant to be like a parody of Hitler and the Nazis, like they're making fun of them, or if it was legit.
Right.
Like it was so over the top. I'm like, is this real? Or is this... He kind of looked like Hitler with his little mustache. I mean, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Only 2 people in this entire cast I even knew. It's a pretty anonymous cast.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they're big in England.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a strange movie, like a crime drama, sorta
Psychological.
A little bit of horror.
Yeah, some horror. It's kind of a, I don't want to say coming of age, but it's kind of one of those like he grows up and matures and becomes a better person.
But he doesn't.
It's strange.
At the end,
No,
he's back to the same way. They don't show it, but you can tell by the way he was reacting to things.
To the pictures and stuff.
Well, at the end, when the guy was feeding him, and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's gotten better at hiding it.
Yeah. What do you think, Wes? Are you done, John? Or?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go ahead, Wes.
I'm waiting for my notes to pull up. That's how I'm doing.
I mean, if you got more to say, I'm
Let's see.
You guys, while we're waiting for Wes, the towards the end when he went back to that house,
the
guy in a wheelchair had that big like muscular guy.
Right.
That was the guy who played Darth Vader.
Oh
my God.
David Prowse.
I didn't realize that.
That was him.
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes sense because he was huge.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
He used to be a professional bodybuilder. He worked with Arnold and Lou Ferrigno. He used to all those guys.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, go ahead, Wes.
The worst part about this.
What?
Worst part about this, John, is he had all fucking dates ready. He was off.
Yeah, but I didn't think that both computers would be dead at the same time. All right, so this movie is definitely considered to be a cult classic, and this is one that I've never seen. I've seen like clips of certain scenes, so I really had no idea what this movie was about, other than seeing just like those clips of like the madness from certain stuff. It's certainly original, but we haven't touched on this yet. But it's great direction by Stanley Kubrick, and I think it's one of his best films, definitely, along with The Shining.
Kubrick.
Yeah. In the Stanley Kubrick production. Yeah, it is that it's set in the near future, is how they describe it, with violent kids just running wild and causing chaos. Basically, is what's going on. It can be disturbing, uncomfortable, and it has a number of heavy and haunting images. Some things like the gang fighting another crew and driving other drivers off the road can be somewhat funny. Like it was like sort of slapsticky at times with that stuff. So at least there's that. Like Dominic said, there's a lot of nudity. And it's not like, oh cool, cool, you know, it's like, oh god, you know, when you see it in context. The visual shock therapy is definitely interesting. I had no clue that was part of this story, since I've never seen it before. That's a big part of the movie. And seeing if he's actually cured or not is fun, you know, as it goes on, and you sort of wonder. I like the last act where some of the things from his past come back to haunt him in a way. So it's sort of interesting to see that. Very, like you said, John, he's a very interesting character to follow, being like an evil protagonist. Like character
is
almost sort of like the Joker in a way, but like in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, it kind of reminded me of like where he's the main character.
What's weird about this, he has all the qualities of somebody that could become whatever they want. He's intelligent.
Yeah.
He's a good leader. He you know, everything. He's a planner. You know, it's bizarre because he has all the qualities that you would consider good in a person.
Right.
But he uses them for different things.
Yeah, I thought Malcolm McDowell is fantastic in this role, playing Alex. Hold on, I gotta plug this in. I see how this is gonna go.
Well, I guess that's sort of, Dominic, that's sort of kind of what the underlying message is like when these youth, if these kids aren't sort of pushed in the right direction and are left on their own, this is what they do.
I think that's what it is, you know?
Yeah. And
had someone taken the time to like help him or show him the way, he might have turned into something great, but
and not just the creepy guy that was feeling him up in bed. I was like, Jesus.
It's but that goes to show you, like, his whole life he sort of has nobody. His parents are kind of crap, you know. And I guess
he gets out of prison and they're renting out his room to some stranger.
Yeah, and they're sort of not even glad to see him. They're like, "Oh shit, you're here."
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, you know, lower, poor people.
Yeah.
Who don't have all the access to things that other people do.
Exactly.
They turn to crime.
Yeah, it's got a lot of messages throughout about politics and society thrown in, definitely. Yeah. And music is a big,
images, like, you know, if all you watch is sex and violence and that kind of stuff, that might lead you that way.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's definitely a movie with a lot to say. And music plays a big part too, especially Beethoven.
Ludwig van.
Yeah.
My beloved Ludwig van.
It's funny because after we watch this, they play a Golden Corral commercial where they're playing Ode to Joy, and I laugh now every time I hear it and think of this movie.
You know what, guys, this could be one of the most complex movies we've ever.
Oh, definitely.
You know,
it's a lot more complex than Halloween 3.
Well, yeah.
All that needed was Mike Myers, and it would have been a better movie.
But I really love the synthesized theme music too. I thought was good. That's pretty much all I got.
Well, it was funny because, like I said, I remember the milk bar scene, but I did not remember that was right at the beginning of the movie.
Dominic,
You
out of
know,
frame.
I know that. I'm watching the game too.
It looks like Superman's talking.
He is, Wesley. He is.
Oh God.
Okay, John. What you got for trivia? I'm really interested to hear the trivia on that.
Okay. Well, there's like 200 things of trivia. I won't tell you all of them.
I figured.
The original cut of this film was 4 hours.
Oh wow!
I could see that.
Mm-hmm. The doctor that was next to him putting the drops in his eyes was an actual real life doctor who was there to make sure that he didn't get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
It was the director's idea to give Alex's character a pet snake because Malcolm McDowell was afraid of snakes, so that was a little prank he pulled on him.
Oh,
that's funny.
We didn't even talk about this. The milk bar.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a real thing or not, but the director had the dispensers emptied, washed, and refilled every hour because the lights kept curdling milk.
Wow.
Oh.
The part where Alex singing in the rain as he attacks that couple was not scripted. It was completely improvised.
That's cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
The director liked it so much that he quickly bought the rights to that song for $10,000 so they wouldn't get sued. Stanley Kubrick destroyed all the unused footage.
Wow.
That scene where Malcolm McDowell picks up those two chicks at the record store. And it's kind of sped up. That scene is 28 minutes long.
And this is one of those movies that you think, were they really having sex?
Probably.
Might have been. I mean, the 70s. Anything goes. The scene where after he's rehabbed and he's on stage and an actor comes out and beats him up.
Mm-hmm.
Malcolm McDowell suffered cracked ribs.
Yeah.
Malcolm McDowell ran into Gene Kelly at a party years later. And Malcolm McDowell approached him to shake his hand and say he was a big fan, but Gene Kelly said that he didn't appreciate how he used Singing in the Rain in that violent scene, so he snubbed him and turned away.
Wow.
Like it's his song, not even his song.
Yeah.
According to the writer of the book, the title came from slang, meaning as queer as a Clockwork Orange. It's like an old slang phrase. I don't even know what that means. But
neither do I.
Yeah, I never heard that either.
Yeah. Now, you said about being banned in England because in 1973, a Dutch girl was raped by men singing in the Rain.
Oh, God.
And a 16-year-old boy was beaten and killed by a gang wearing bowler hats and a white outfit. So Stanley Kubrick thought if this movie is going to cause that, then I'm just going to pull it and no one gets to see it.
Yeah.
From 73 into 2000, it was unavailable to be seen.
Wow.
After he died, it became available, and it sold out so fast, people had to put signs on their store windows saying, "We do not have a Clockwork Orange."
Wow. Crazy.
Malcolm McDowell's character is 15 years old, and in real life, he's 27.
I wondered that when we were watching it. I'm like, how old is he supposed to be?
15, yeah.
When they were like, he's in high school. I'm like, really?
Yeah. It's kind of funny, I guess, but Michael McDowell did his narration after everything was filmed. So to break up the boredom of sitting there talking into a microphone for hours, him and Stanley Kubrick would play table tennis, and Kubrick could never beat Malcolm McDowell at table tennis. So to get back at him, he docked his salary for every hour they played table tennis because he wasn't acting.
Oh, wow.
I've heard a lot of stuff about Kubrick, especially like with The Shining and stuff, with like Shelley Long, and, or not Shelley Long.
Oh,
Shelley Duvall.
Shelley Duvall.
Yeah, where he like
terrorized.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was released with an X rating. This and Midnight Cowboy are the only X-rated movies to be nominated for Best Picture.
And Midnight Cowboy won it, I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In 1993, a underground film theater showed this movie without permission, and Stanley Kubrick found out and convinced Warner Brothers to sue them. And they closed up in 2000 because they were bankrupt.
Damn.
Because they sued him into oblivion. Some little like mom and pop. Like if I'm showing at my house and everyone come over, and then I got sued by Warner Brothers, how would I fight that?
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah. Language spoken is Anthony Burgess, the author's invention. It's a mixture of English, Russian, and slang. The book came with a glossary at the end of it to sort of explain what the words meant.
That's cool.
The rape scene was so difficult, the original actress in the role quit.
Wow.
The second actress was mad that it took so many takes to get it. She thought it should have been once and done. Hold on. You guys said about being a little off-putting or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait till you hear this. In the book, remember when, in the beginning, when Malcolm McDowell's gang walks up on that other group of kids who are like attempting to rape that girl?
Yeah.
In the book, that girl is 10 years old.
Oh my God.
Oh.
And the two girls that he picks up at the record club are also 10 years old.
Oh God.
The director thought there ain't no way.
I should look to find this book, but now there's no way in hell I'd read it.
Yeah, the director said there's no way that that's ever going to play, so he made the characters older. And he didn't want it to be known as like pedophile. Like these guys were pedophiles. Yeah. Whew. Yeah.
Roman Polanski might have done it.
There's a lot of yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of jeez. Who writes a book with that in it? Like who has that thought? Like,
yeah. You know what would make this scene great? Or this chapter, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna rate this pig?
Yeah, I guess we have to.
It's tough, but I'm going with a 10. I think it's a masterpiece. It really, really is. It's that disturbing for something to leave a mark on me or to move me this much that this movie did, whether it be good or bad, it's got to be a 10.
It's like I felt like I needed a shower afterwards. It's like one of those movies, like
Hereditary or The Exorcist.
yeah. It's tough. It's not something that you can watch over and over again.
No,
it's tough. But yeah, it's sort of a cult classic. It's like if you know kind of movies. I don't know that it's a 10. I know it's considered a masterpiece. I'd fight to give it an 8. It's tough. It's a tough movie to even categorize.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I'd stay.
I'm going to agree with one of you, and that would be Dominic. And I'm going to give it a 10 because I really enjoyed this movie. And I haven't seen anything like it, that's for sure.
Probably never will.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and if you would, it'll be a copycat. It'll be, oh, I saw that in a Clockwork Orange.
If this came out today, it would be an A24 movie.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, so that is a Clockwork Orange, at least a little bit of it. Definitely, if you've never seen it, check it out.
You should at least see it once in your life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it is one of those 1001 movies to watch before you die. So I don't know why it wouldn't be, but so so this next time is John's turn to pick. So what do you have in store for us this time?
Okay. I'm a fan of James Cameron. I think he's a good director. Although all everyone talks about is Titanic and Terminator and Avatar. I picked one of his that I think is pretty good. It's sort of under the radar that no one ever talks about. I'm picking The Abyss.
Seen it.
I've seen it too. I haven't seen it out.
Yeah, shockingly, it's not on Blu-ray. So this is one of the few DVDs I have in my collection.
Nice.
That I found at a yard sale.
Have you seen it before?
I have not.
Oh.
I thought it was a pretty cool movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it since it came out, but yeah. No one ever talks about it for James Cameron.
Yeah, that's true. I just see it on a lot of the like websites of like movies that should be on Blu-ray or like YouTube videos. They're like movies that should be on Blu-ray by now. This and True Lies. All right, so that is the show for this week. John, you want to talk a little bit about the podcast?
Yeah, We Like Wrestling Podcast. It's a weekly podcast. And 3 guys sitting around talking about wrestling. Any and everything wrestling related. We got a big show coming up in December. We're bringing TJP. If you're a wrestling fan, you know what that means. We're on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find podcasts. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We Like Wrestling Podcast.
All right. And of course, for me, you can subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/WestTrueBaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WesAList. Until next time, truth